Hey guys, Monday, July 7th, 2025. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do today. So far, the Black Widow is getting weak. Looking at our market profile, the value area high was 336 and prices are dipping in below. And this is the monthly chart. So look at the selling pressure from this June's monthly candle. So a lot of sellers up here pushing lower. Looking at our weekly, there's one thing you need to watch is this anchored VWAP right there. If you get closer, you can see that it held there. It pierced it here. Mind you, this is a whole week of trading. So we were a whole week of trading before the anchored VWAP and then popped, found support, went up, hit the value area high of 413 right on the dot, pulled back. So this anchored VWAP is another tool I use to measure the sides between the bulls and the bears. So keep an eye out for 318. Even if it dips this week, it's done it in the past. It's all about how long does it stay below the anchored VWAP. As you can see, it sees it and it recognizes it because it stops right on its track. Finds support. When it pierces and it pulls back, buyers defend it. Pulls back, buyers defend it. Pulls back, even a whole week of trading, buyers defend it. Buyers defend it. And buyers are probably going to do the same thing here. Now, if you get 2 weeks below this line, high probability is going to go to 259, 262. That's your point of control for the week within a 5-year time frame. Now, looking more fractal, looking at 3 months, you can see that we already took out our value area low of 335 and also 331. Going to push lower. Watch out these pivots. 309 and obviously 285. But the pressure is to the downside as of now. Let's look at our simple glance chart. MACD is still negative, very messy on the monthly here. Let's see if I can. I'll take my time today on this chart. Yeah, so you got a couple of key pivots here in this area. That's 326. You're still in the MOBO, but MACD is negative. So yeah, there is a pivot here that you want to keep an eye on. Looking at our weekly, you got a PPS sell signal, so the pressure is to the downside. However, you have the 50 SMA creeping up, and you're about to get into the cloud if 322 doesn't hold, which is your 50 SMA. The MACD is still negative, so the pressure is still to the downside. It's all going to depend on can we hold this 50 SMA. They did this here, trading a whole week and regained it. So even if it pulls in, if it could hold, it could bounce. And that's all in conjunction with the July 4th and 7th. So if you want to go long, or your hope is to go long, and you're betting that that seasonality of July 4th, 7th reversal could happen, these are the things you want to see hold. 50, the cloud, all this stuff should hold. And if it bounces, then that's a confirmation. But if we start digging in deeper and don't turn around, and this is a weekly, so it's going to be a whole week of trading. And if we start getting into the cloud, into linear regression channel here, then maybe it's going to be a late turn or it may not happen. So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys. This is the area I like to accumulate when it gets down here. But that's my style. So let's see how it goes. You see that you already took out that key level there. And the cloud is one here, but this was a big one and you failed it. So there's one there that is in conjunction with the 50 SMA. So weakness is relevant here. Let's look at the daily. At the daily, and this is one of the reasons I do not like to trade in the cloud. I like to trade here or down here. But in here, this is where you get chopped up. And so far, we have falling out of the cloud. The future's still positive, but getting a little dwindled, a little weak. You got the linear regression channel here, so I'm sure bottom feeders are going to show up. And they may be showing up early, but this is an area where you probably want to accumulate if you think that this reversal is going to play. If you're on the sidelines, you think maybe there's more downside, which I'm kind of 50-50, but it all depends on price action. It could continue pushing lower, or it could turn here and follow those seasonalities. So this week is going to be very important for that. Looking at our geometry with regards to APF, you can see that we couldn't even hold this area. We failed key angles, and now we're here. So like I said, keep an eye on this, keep an eye on these pivots. But in regards to the APF, it's negative. It's not looking good. In regards to the channel, you may probably going to be getting to the 50% here. We've pierced it here. We never got to kiss it here. So it could play out that it may get to the 50% in the channel. FT levels, you're at support. If that doesn't hold, obviously 317 around there. And if that doesn't hold, you're going next to the 290s. So far, that's holding. In regards to the from the FT levels, Gann retail traders are looking at this and saying, all right, we're at this key angle here. Is this going to hold? So that's what retail is looking at with the Gann angles. There's nothing here. Let's go to my SO dates. So the day you want to keep an eye on is 7/25. That might be a Friday. I'm not too sure. So this could continue pushing lower, ignore the July 4th and 7th reversal, and maybe find or have a turning point on the 7/25. It worked here, it worked here, it worked here, it worked here. Will it work here? Well, time will tell. And that all depends if it goes from here to here or reverses and we go, and then from here it goes that way. So it all depends where it's going, where it's coming from. Seasonality says up, but you never know. The Black Widow likes to play games. So just giving you ideas of scenarios that could possibly play out. Swing chart, same thing. I have it there for the 24th, 25th. It's going to push lower. Like I said, watch out for 310 and 286. Let's close it with our midpoint chart. So the next quadrant will be 320, and then your bigger target would be 287. You see that's your 50%. That's your midpoint for the year. For the whole year of 2025, this is the most important line, 286. So far, we've been holding above it. We get below 286, you are below the midpoint of the year. And so far, the waves are negative, and the mobiles are negatives, and Stokes are unwinding lower. PPS sell signal on the weekly chart. On the monthly chart, you have a PPS sell signal that was around June the 23rd and never got a buy. And so far, if you have been short, and we had a change of contract right here around the 626. But so far, nothing positive. The mobiles, the waves are negative. We had this positive, but the mobiles were never got positive. And you can see that these are just spikes or snapbacks where you would short. And so far, you took out last month's low, which was 336 with today's candle, which we haven't closed, but we already took it out. So a quadrant level you want to watch is 317 and 297. And you are below the midpoint for the month. Looking at our 4-hour chart, which is using weekly pivots, you are below the weekly pivot, so that's negative, and you're already at the lows of last week. So if we do not have a turnaround in the US session, it could continue pushing lower. If we do have a turnaround, watch out for 340 and your midpoint 351. It could probably get here and then maybe fail. I don't know. We'll see. But if it doesn't get up there, you want to keep an eye out for targets to the downside is 317 all the way to 306. You are below the 200 SMA on the 4-hour. Mobiles and waves are negative. Stokes are just flat lining on the bottom. So weakness is shown in this chart with a 4-hour PPS sell signal that was triggered on the 3rd. Looking at our hourly for the very, very, very short time traders, yeah, you're at the bottom of the pit. 327. Looks like it's kind of waking up here on the 1 hour, but maybe I wouldn't trust it. I mean, it could probably get some shorts. The line in the sand for you, if you're trading today, with 348, and maybe even test the lows here around 339. Lastly, let's look at the GAN Square. We're somewhere around right here. I tell you this, if we close below 328, it could get ugly. I could probably see it get to like 304. Below through 325, get down to 316, 307, and see it maybe between 307, 304 if it holds. But this is very key in regards to GAN technique. That 328, 327, 329, this area right here, very, very important right now. This doesn't hold. If we have a close below that or 325, high probability we're going to push lower, maybe get to 304. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that gas.